Peter Weir's 1998 film, The Truman Show, distinctively reveals the idea of the power which technology and the media have over our lives. Peter Weir's idea suggests to the audience that what we believe to be true has been implemented in our lives and controlled through what we see in the media. For Truman Burbank, a character who is represented as the ideal everyman has been manipulated to believe a false reality. His fears, emotions, and everyday life have been constructed to warn audiences if what we believe to be true is influenced through the media or ourselves. Through a range of distinctive choices, Weir challenges his audience to consider if they are thinking for themselves or being controlled by others. A scene that powerfully conveys Weir's intended message about the power of the media is the travel agency scene. Truman's fear of flying has been instilled through the media to stop him from leaving Sea Haven. This is a cultural assumption, as it shows how the media and technology control our thinking in society into believing that what we see is real. We no longer think for ourselves, but let others determine what we believe instead. In this scene, Truman has decided to leave Sea Haven and book a flight to Fiji. The scene strategically starts with a slow pan from a travel insurance poster, which reads in bold letters, "Travelers beware," with a checklist outlining the dangers of travelling. The camera then continues to pan across to Truman, which then stops into a long shot, and shows Truman coincidentally looking at the walls of the room. This is purposely done to signify to the audience the points that the media are trying to make to instill fear into Truman. Alternatively, Truman is sitting beside a poster on the wall, which reads in a huge bold capital font, "It could happen to you." A medium close-up shot is used once again to emphasize how the media is manipulating Truman into his fear of flying. Truman's unusual facial expression and stiff body movement reveal to the audience the fear that he feels towards flying. In addition to this, media manipulation is further represented in the scene when Truman is walking across the dock and sees a boat in the water. The use of props in this scene is a half-sunken boat which is used to signify Truman's fear of water. A high-angle shot is used to show the boat from Truman's perspective, and a medium shot is shown to outline Truman's frightened facial expression. Furthermore, the use of sound helps represent Truman's fear when subtle but dramatic music plays in the background, and the gasp from Truman when he sees the boat. Truman's body movement is quite stiff and weak, conveying that his fear of water is enough to bring him to his knees. This distinctively reveals how the media instills fear into Truman, thus influencing every aspect of his life. In contrast to Truman's manipulation, materialism is used to influence the audience into consuming new products. There is a cultural assumption that the media has an impact on consumerism. Popular TV shows and movies use product placement to advertise goods and services which the audience are then influenced to buy to make their life easier. Materialism is represented in the scene when Truman is fixing the garden, along with reference to the scene when Truman is speaking with Marlon. In this scene, Merrill comes home from the supermarket with groceries and shows the camera the chef's pal. A close-up shot of Merrill is used to show off the product to the audience, with a lack of music to emphasize Merrill's voice, reading the description of the product in a cliché tone of voice.
It's a chef's pal. It's a dicer, grater, peeler all in one. Never needs sharpening, dishwasher safe.
Similarly, the scene when Truman is speaking to his friend Marlon about moving to Fiji is a clear representation of product placement, when Marlon looks to the camera to advertise Pen Pavel's beer. A steady close-up shot of the product is used, showing Marlon drinking the beer. His body movement then moves to the camera and says,
"That is a beer."
This reveals the idea of the power of the media and its influence towards the audience to manipulate them into consuming the product. The Truman Show distinctively reveals the idea of the power which technology and the media has over our lives, using Truman Burbank, whose life is constructed and influenced by media, to serve as a warning to the audience if what we believe to be true is influenced through the media or ourselves, while using consumerism as an example of influence towards individuals.